Hello. So recently in my practice, I have started incorporating ketamine-assisted therapy. And I want to talk a little bit about why ketamine-assisted therapy. I'm going to do a series of videos on CAP, or ketamine-assisted psychotherapy. So one of the reasons that I've started to offer this in my practice is I have seen the power of psychedelic-assisted therapy with a variety of psychedelics in my practice for many years. I've seen people be able to forgive and move past things that kept them in this cycle of pain and blame and shame. And I've seen people be able to step out of very kind of black and white thinking of I'm bad or I'm good or the world's bad or the world is good into a more broader and expansive perspective that was able to see more nuance rather than getting stuck in kind of either or thinking. I've seen people be able to really slow down their process. And so if there's a particular thing that arises, maybe it's avoidance. Through psychedelic-assisted therapy, they've been able to access the fear underneath of it and to work directly with it. And that has given them the opportunity to change the external manifestation of, if it's avoidance, to give them insights into how to work with that kind of root cause of the behavior of working with the fear. So we have default patterns that keep us behaving in certain ways. Some of these serve us, some of these we've outgrown, and we can kind of go into this default patterning. And what ketamine does is it temporarily turns off that default mode, which gives us the opportunity to do something a little bit different. It gives us the opportunity to create new neural pathways in our brains and our bodies and our nervous systems, which is really incredible. So what I have found is when people are particularly using the support of ketamine to work on something that feels really entrenched or stuck, whether it's a behavior that you keep doing, you're like, why do I keep doing this? But it almost feels like I can't stop when it comes up. It can be a way that a relationship works, the way that you show up in a relationship that isn't serving you anymore. And when you go through the ketamine process, it can give you a little bit of distance and perspective or insights, or just a new way of thinking about that thing. And then another thing that I love about ketamine is that you have the journey experience, which is going into a non-ordinary state of consciousness. But then after that, you have this at least 24 to about 72 hours, maybe even a little bit longer, where you have a very increased neuroplastic window. So during that time, if you're practicing the things that you want to cultivate in your life, you're practicing the behaviors, you're practicing the relationships, those start to solidify those neural pathways in a different way, making it easier to shift those stuck patterns. So that's one of the many reasons that I'm really excited about starting to bring ketamine-assisted therapy in. And ketamine-assisted therapy has been researched in treating PTSD, depression, anxiety, eating disorders, burnout, substance abuse, end of life, chronic pain, migraines, and so much more. And I would say, if there's anything that feels like you have no choice and there's a sense of kind of like helplessness or hopelessness, and you feel kind of bound to a particular pattern that feels hard to shift, ketamine can be a useful support to give you insight into changing that particular pattern. So if you're interested in exploring CAP, you can sign up on my website, which I'll leave in the description below, for a 20-minute free consultation. You can learn more about it and determine if it would be a good fit for you. And then I also work with Journey Clinical, which was the medical provider, and so they'll also do an intake with you to determine medical eligibility and to go through the medical procedure. So you can have a support from both directions, from a therapeutic lens and also from the medical lens, because I work in partnership with Journey Clinical. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.